Live from inside Porsche, Colorado Springs, it's the First Dibs podcast with our hosts, John Deisty and Justin Underwood. Buckle up and let's go for a ride.
Real hot girl shit. Yeah, I'm in my bag, but I'm in his too. And that's why every time you see me, I got some new shoes.
Ay, look, bitch, I'm a star, I got these niggas wishing. He say he hungry, this pussy the kitchen. Yeah, that's my dog, he gon' sit down and listen. Call him a trick and he don't get a holler. Bitch, I'm a star, I got these niggas wishing. He say he hungry, this pussy the kitchen. Yeah, that's my dog, he gon' sit down and listen. Call him a trick and he don't get offended.
And we're live.
He know it's very expensive to date me. Tell him go put my name on it.
You know, sometimes when I'm in a mood, God, these headsets, I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what I sound like. We better turn this down. Hold on. That was a lot. So for our under 18-year-old listeners, I really apologize. I picked a random song because we were talking about money, and it was called Cash, and I don't know that it was appropriate for all listeners. But welcome back. It's the First Dibs pod show, live from inside Porsche, Colorado Springs. I had a day.
Yeah, you did.
It was a good day. I sold a couple cars.
Yeah, you did.
And that was awesome. So thank you to the Hill family and my doctor friend for coming in and making all that happen. We got an awesome car in on trade as part of this. Well, actually two. And what I think tomorrow we should go drag race them.
Okay.
Because I don't know which one's quicker. I don't know if it's the 2020 Macan with the EA 888 turbocharged 4-cylinder. And what are those, 248 horsepower?
Yep.
That sound right? Because they were 253, then they went down to 248, now they're back up to 261.
Right.
Look at me dropping bomb facts. Yeah. Product knowledge.
Yes.
That's what you do there.
Right.
That with a PDK transmission coming in at like 4,200 pounds. Or is it the 2010? It's been a day. 2020s. Is it the 2020 Cayenne GTS with the 4.8 liter V8? 2 on the greenhouse gas score, a 5 on the climate change awards, both out of 10, with 405 horsepower, rocking a 6-speed Tiptronic transmission, and tipping the scales just under 5,000 pounds at 4,900 and change.
That's impressive. How light it is for the size of the car.
It's the same size as the 4,200 pound Macan.
It's bigger.
Yeah, by like, I think if you held your breath in a Macan, it would be bigger than the Cayenne. I don't know what that means either, but
okay. Well, what are you going to take? What are you taking to win the drag race?
At sea level?
No, we're here in Colorado Springs.
I know. What I'm saying is at sea level, I would take the Cayenne.
Yeah.
Up here, I think the Macan takes it.
Yeah, I think so.
I think to 60, it's going to launch a little harder. And those turbos, even though it's down 100 horsepower, the weight savings in the transmission, I think, are going to pick up a win.
Sure. Yeah. I always tell people that Macan 4-cylinder on paper, it doesn't sound that impressive, but people forget that it's a lot lighter in weight.
Yeah.
In the seat of the pants, the car flies.
I think you're looking at a 6.3, 0 to 60 on the Macan without launch control, which this one does not have. Sport Chrono, so it would not have.
Right.
And I think you're like a 5.8 on
the GTS.
The GTS.
That's pretty impressive because the turbo at that time frame
was a 4.5.
4.5?
4.5, yeah.
I know that it was like the 2004 Cayenne Turbo, I think, was right at 5 seconds flat. Does that sound right?
Sounds about right. Maybe I'm
Maybe
thinking.
it was sub-second.
I might be thinking Turbo S, but they're all right about there.
Yeah. So what you're saying we got on trade today is a what year Cayenne GTS?
2010.
2010 Cayenne GTS
Yep.
and a 2020
Uh-huh.
Macan 4-cylinder.
Yep.
How many miles are on the Macan 4-cylinder?
20,550.
Okay, and it's white over black interior.
559. Sorry.
Okay.
I rounded the wrong direction.
Okay.
It's white. Yep. White on black.
I think so.
Coming out of the Western Slope. Is that what they call it?
Yep.
Local car, purchased certified by a nice couple that I met. Yeah, good car.
Yeah, and then the 2010 Cayenne GTS.
150,000 miles.
That's awesome.
And so nice.
Oh, it's crazy clean.
Yeah.
It's black.
Black, leather, Alcantara seat centers, which didn't rule you out of ventilated seats back then because there weren't ventilated seats. It does have the roller dial heated seats, which I don't know why we went away from that.
Yeah, they work.
Well, and you got in the car, you set it to 3.
Right.
You left, you came back, it was set at 3.
It's still at 3. Yeah.
Your butt's a little cold, you roll it up to 6.
Right.
Pull it back a little bit. Those might only go to 5. I think it might.
5.
I think the Audi 90 Quattro went to 6. Pretty sure.
It's like going to 11.
Yeah, exactly.
No, super clean car.
Really nice car.
impressive.
Panoramic, triple pane roof. Triple pane for a lot of reasons.
Right. It's got some aftermarket headlights that look amazing. They look like the brand new headlights.
The best part about them is they are aimed up. So I was picking up our dinner,
Right.
and as I was backing out of my parking spot, I came across another SUV, and I don't know, maybe the woman had just had her eyes checked, but she had her hands and arms plastered all over her driver's window to try to shield herself from the laser beam headlights that I had accidentally directed at her window. And then I thought, oh my God, I must have my high beams on. So I tried the high beam switch and it put on the high beams and it totally flashed her even worse with the brighter section of the beam as I was backing away. Yeah.
So if you're listening or watching this show, you did not do that.
No, that was,
intentionally.
well, it was intentional, but I got the opposite reaction from what I was trying to do.
Oh my gosh.
I was trying to be reasonable and responsible.
Super funny.
Cayenne driver, but man, that car, it's not fast. I'll go out and say it. Here, that car is not fast.
Sure.
But man, it makes a great sound. It feels good. I can't believe it has 150,000 miles on it and feels as solid as it does.
Sure.
You know, it's not rattling and clanking. Then the suspension feels correct, and you know, oh man, that car. I was talking to Lewis last week, I think, about how I thought we'd just keep the WRX and that might be his first car. But this makes me want to just throw that to the wind and buy this thing and just go drive it for a while and figure something else out for Lewis. How many years? 5 years from now? 4 years from now?
Yeah.
A while from now?
A while.
I don't know. It's a really, really nice car. Yep.
You'll probably sell it tomorrow now.
I had a couple in today that they live out mountain area. He's a metal fabricator, body shop stuff. So when we were talking about the 356 and how the metal surgeon did stuff, he was saying, yeah, that's what I do. And I said, oh, I wish I had that kind of skill. And he said, oh, everybody has that skill. They just don't have the time to practice it. I said, no, I don't. You know, like, well, I appreciate his modesty, but you know, I think to do that kind of metal work, I turned my treble up a little too much. I need it down just a little bit. Somebody was messing with our settings, and hold on, should we try and Barry White me? Let's see if we can do this.
I don't know.
Let's see if we can do it.
I guess
That's probably that's a little better. These guys out there, now they're hearing me. That's how I hear myself. We'll take it up just a little.
Yeah,
That's better. But it's an art.
Totally.
It's more than just a skill that you can develop, I think. And I just
like some people can draw
yeah.
naturally.
Yeah.
I cannot draw.
No. They see it.
My stick figures look bad. Right.
Yeah.
So no, that's a great point though. Appreciate his modesty, but
yeah,
that is definitely an art. It's a craftsmanship.
Yeah,
and some people have it. Most people do not.
And I agree you could teach me a lot of it.
Sure.
But I don't know that you could ever teach me to hand hammer a Ferrari 250 Testarossa over a wood buck out of aluminum.
Right. Yeah, teach me about it. But
yeah. Yeah. And
I get it.
I know how to weld. If you set up the stupid welding machine for me and put the pieces of metal together, and all I have to do is close my eyes and go zzz. Yeah,
that's all
I'm
it
a
is.
professional welder. Yeah. Yeah. Why do these guys get paid hundreds of dollars an hour? That's dumb. I can do it. You do all the work. I'll just go zzz for $100 an hour. It's just craftsmanship is a thing. And yeah.
Yep.
That's that. We were talking about the Singer, the DLS.
Oh, okay.
And how that is super crazy and impressive and totally awesome. But how, in my world, I think the Emerys are more than that. Because this car is perfect, but it's designed on a computer. And if I'm wrong about this, please, Singer, come on and let's talk about it. But my understanding is that it's designed in some kind of computer-aided drafting system, and molds are created and molds are pulled. And then there's a lot of work that goes into making sure the panel gaps are absolutely perfect and the paint is absolutely perfect. And the tack on that thing, it's made like a watch.
Yeah,
That's $100,000 tack.
Right.
It's got to be. But that's different than a guy that goes out and pounds metal and shapes it and shaves it with this thing and looks at it and says, oh, that looks, it's like somebody giving you a haircut and they're like, well, your left ear's a little low, so I'm going to make your left sideburn a little lower so it just matches up. So just don't look straight on to the mirror because you'll look a little lopsided. But it's just because you are, right? It's I'm just fixing your face.
Right.
I don't know how we got there. But
we're talking about a couple. Well, I said you're probably going to sell the GTS tomorrow.
Yes. So they came in wandering the lot. They didn't want to talk to anybody. So of course I go talk to them.
Yeah. Right.
And they liked me enough to continue talking to me, which was cool. But they asked if we had any first or second generation Cayennes, and I said no, but I will tonight.
Yeah.
So text me. This thing could be pretty sweet.
There you go.
If I don't buy it first.
No doubt. It is cool. It's very cool. Not to take anything away from the Macan that we just got, but the GTS is something that we don't ever see.
What's crazy to me is that a 4-cylinder Macan around a racetrack, you would roast that.
Yeah,
guaranteed. I would put $1,000 on it if you brought that GTS and the 2020 Macan 4-cylinder and put them in the hand of Randy Popst and put it around High Plains.
Right.
The Macan wins.
As long as he finishes.
There's no water jumps. That guy's a professional.
He is a professional.
Yeah,
I'm just teasing.
No, I really think it's crazy to me that's how far technology has come.
Oh yeah. In a short period of time.
Yeah, in a decade.
No, it's awesome. So the GTS is a pretty special car.
But that's the one I'd buy.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Is it just, I don't know. It's got a big stupid V8 that drinks a lot of gas. That's cool.
It is cool. Sounds good. Like you said. Sounds good. Looks good. I like it.
Yeah.
I'd
Flashes people.
Flashes people, yeah.
Those are all good things.
We also this week we got a BMW M850i,
which makes me wonder.
I guess a Grand Coupe. It's a 4-door. There's nothing M about this car.
That's what I was going to ask. What makes it an M?
Yeah. So when I was going to check it out, Ross was about to park it, and he gets out of the car and he says, I have no idea when BMW decided to start making everything with an M on it. He's got a good point. Everything's an M something now. Although we still have the 1M.
That's an M.
Yeah, that's
that's
a real
correct.
M.
That's real.
That is a real. That car is pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool. I didn't quite understand the hype from internally here about that car when it first got here, and then I read about it, because writing a description, they only made about 740 of these cars or something. It's very rare. Like it's rare. It's
that might
limited.
be the U.S. number.
Maybe.
I think it's 6,000 that they built. And
Okay.
maybe
It's not a lot.
no,
right?
it's
There's
a
not
small
lot.
number.
Yeah. I did notice. What was it? Zuckerman, Paul Zuckerman. They just had a post on his 1M. He's got
This is
a red one.
orange.
It's orange or red.
Yeah,
No, that's cool. And I thought, wow, that's crazy timing.
it's his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Paul
Yeah.
Zuckerman from Spike's Car Radio.
Yeah, and
Stop copying our show.
no, just stop doing it better. Just
Right.
you can copy all you
Yeah.
want. Just
Oh, I'm sporting your guys' watch though. The Sheffield SCR watch.
yeah, they just launched a new one.
Oh yeah, I'll order that one. You gotta send me. Well, it's on the Sheffield site, right?
It probably sold out.
God.
I mean, I don't know, but I tried to tell you. If I had $288 today, I would have bought it. But
Yeah.
up until today, you know how many cars I sold this month?
One.
Yeah.
You were gone half the month.
No, I was gone for 4 days. I've been checked out. That's what you meant. You've been checked
You've been
out for
checked
the whole
out.
month. Yeah, that's
You were
true.
on vacation mode a little before, a little after.
Yeah,
and then
it's hard.
until today.
Well, I wasn't on vacation mode. The internet lead system was on vacation mode.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
That doesn't help.
That's good. When you're gone for a week, then you come back and you're gone for another week.
Yeah.
As far as the internet's concerned, the way we sell cars here is if somebody walks in, whoever is available gets up and says hi. Right? It's not that we don't race to it. It's just we're pretty professional between each other. Nancy and I will make sure the first problem is make sure the customer's taken care of. Whoever's walking in the door, make sure they feel like they're here and at home.
For sure.
And then from there, whatever, we'll figure the rest out. So that some cars are sold that way. People that just walk in. That was the Hills that came in and traded their 2020 Macan for a 2022 Macan S with sport exhaust in
Right.
black with 21-inch wheels. And
Nice car.
that was a great car. That can happen, but 75% of our traffic on the pre-owned side of things sells out of state.
Yeah.
And those cars I have developed through First Dibs and through 7 years here. People call me on stuff just randomly, but a lot of that is just internet traffic.
Yeah.
Where someone is on cargurus.com or cars.com or Edmunds or whatever it is and sees our car and says, I want to know about that car. And then we answer it.
Yeah.
And if you're gone for a week, that means that means a quarter of your monthly traffic's gone.
Right.
And if you're gone for another week, it means another quarter is gone. So now it's probably 6 cars I didn't sell because I didn't get internet leads.
You know how many new cars you don't sell because of internet leads?
All of them.
Yeah. So here's like an interesting thing for people listening and watching is Porsche, as a manufacturer, does not let new cars be advertised on third-party sites, meaning new Porsches cannot be advertised on Auto Trader, on cars.com, Car Gurus, all those places, right? The only place that you can find new Porsches for sale
Yep.
is either on dealership-specific websites or what's called Porsche Finder.
Yeah.
And anyway, so this has been kind of a sore subject for a couple of years, for at least a number of years since this happened, since it transitioned, and we're trying to change that. So like goofy numbers where there's 133 million new car shoppers, like unique new car shoppers every day. Every day.
133 million?
Million.
That sounds like a lot.
It's a lot. These are searches. It's 133 million searches every day for new cars, unique new cars.
Okay.
New Porsche cars are not, they're not part of that.
Yeah. So if you look for an awesome turbocharged 6-cylinder 5-passenger large SUV, you would never find a Porsche.
You're not going to find a Porsche, not if it's a new car. So Porsche and Ferrari are the only two new car manufacturers that do not allow third-party new car advertising.
That probably hurts Ferrari a lot.
Right. But our competitors, right, our direct competitors, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, that kind of stuff, you can find new cars on all of those big websites.
Interesting.
Right. So if we're doing 80% of our business is already out of state, and that's a good point that you mentioned, that's used cars, right? Very few new cars for us go out of state.
Yep.
At least it feels like it to me.
No, it's true.
Imagine how we do our business, right? If we could reach the rest of the people out there that don't know about Porsche Finder and don't know about Porsche Colorado Springs yet because they're looking for new cars, how much would our business explode?
Yeah, if you could do an extra little bit of, if you just had a little more opportunity.
Absolutely. And thank goodness, not that I'm going to plant the seed or anything, but Porsche is a manufacturer to where we can sell new cars out of state. We just can't advertise to people out of state necessarily, like direct advertisement that way. And I get that. I get that, the area of responsibility stuff. But no, I mean, if you're in Kansas, if you're in Florida, and we've got the right, new Cayenne for it, you can buy it. We can sell it to you. And I say that because there are car manufacturers out there, like across the street from us is a Land Rover dealership. They can't sell a new car to a client in Denver.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because there's a Land Rover store in Denver. And yeah, they've got these weird rules about their area of responsibility. They cannot go outside of that unless there's some kind of weird exception. So fortunately, we're not, that strict.
That feels like something that should be addressed with, like, monopoly law.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. So hopefully
Like, that's the board game.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get something like that changed to where, and it's obviously it's not just us that would be able to, hopefully get it changed. It would be all Porsche dealerships, you'd be able to find.
Well,
just in general,
I think the hope would be that, we wouldn't take more of the market share just from Porsche. Is that the whole Porsche market share would go up?
Yes, absolutely.
Would be the hope.
Absolutely.
And you'd steal some Bimmer.
Right. We'd steal a lot.
Yeah.
We'd steal a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's something that's kind of just, I think, interesting for people to know. I don't know how we got started on that. Advertising new cars.
It's our show. It's what we do.
Oh, you know what? I wanted so John and his family, they were very polite. They were very kind. They got reservations at Casa Bonita. And we were able to go. I was able to join them at Casa Bonita this last Wednesday night.
That place.
Now, I'd been before. I'd been when I was a little tiny kid. I took my kids there when they were little. And then now I've been there, with the Dicey's.
So basically, this place, it's a Colorado institution.
Absolutely.
That came into my consciousness with South Park.
Right.
South Park, awesome cartoon show that is homed. It lives in Colorado. It lives in South Park, Colorado. And the kids, one of the episodes, Cartman gets excited about going to Casa Bonita.
Right.
So it's this awesome place, and there's Black Bart's cave, and he gets to go, and he wants to go eat his chimichangas. And I don't remember if that was the episode where Jennifer, not Aniston, not Nick Lovett.
Love Hewitt?
Not that one. The other one. Jennifer Lopez. Remember? He makes Jennifer Lopez into his hand. And
that's fun.
Anyway, it's just this like cultural icon that I didn't know anything about. I knew it was a Mexican restaurant that was themed. Now there's a documentary out about it because the South Park guys, during COVID, it went out of business. the South Park guys bought it and then renovated it and wanted to bring it back because Matt or Trey, it was one of their like childhood icons, the thing they loved, and they didn't want to see it die, which I think is commendable.
Yeah.
Like, well done. So they bought this thing, and back in the 70s, I think, basically like a department store went out of business, and these crazies decided, let's open a Mexican restaurant there.
Right.
So they spent like $100 billion of money in 1970.
73, yeah.
Yeah. And just designed this Disneyland quality, which I mean as a compliment.
Yeah.
Mexican themed restaurant with mariachis and cliff divers and
Right. Acapulco cliff divers.
and characters that wandered around.
Yeah, different themes to the, because there's caves, right?
Yeah.
There's
a caves and there's an arcade and
stalactites and stalagmites and rock walls and
talking animatronics.
right. Right.
It was just crazy.
52,000 square feet. That's a big space.
It took me. How many people do you think it seats?
I don't know.
1,100.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
At $40 a meal.
Yeah, on average.
And how many times do you think a table gets turned a night?
That's a great question because they're not open all day. They open at 4 and close at, well, they probably stop seating at 8.
Yeah.
So
8 or 9.
And I think there's a 2-hour limit, right?
Yeah.
For the tables now.
I would guess they get 3 seatings.
Yeah. 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 Well, one thing that I pointed out when we were there, I was super impressed at how full it was.
Yeah, it was packed.
Yeah.
There's a line out the front.
Yeah.
It was packed door to door, 365 for the last 2 years.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Pretty good.
Yeah. But they spent $40 million on renovation.
We should edit that out because people will want to watch the documentary. But yeah, they spent $40 million renovating the place.
That is a spoiler alert.
Yeah. Like, it was a restaurant.
Right.
That then closed.
Right.
And then reopened. And then to reopen, they spent $40 million.
Right. Yeah.
And had to.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah.
You saw the documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Crazy.
But I think, number one, if you've got it, where you could actually spend $40 million on something you love and not worry about it.
Right.
Like, they'll get some of that back.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll get it all back.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it, you make $10 on a plate of taco food. How many plates of taco is that? That's 400,000 plates of tacos.
Yeah, they'll get it. Well, like you said, so the Trey, so Trey Parker and Matt Stone, but Trey Parker, he's the one that kind of really took on the project, I believe. And because, yes, this is something that he believed a lot in as far as this should not die, right? This is something that should stay around forever. Classic cars, Porsche classic cars. It's kind of the same thing, right? You can send your car back to the Porsche Classic,
what
factory
the fuck
piece.
did you just do? We were
Well, I'm
talking
getting to
about
a point.
we were talking about Mexican food.
So, I know, but hang on, I'm tying this in.
Jesus,
You could
Christ.
send your 1979 911 SC to the Porsche, restoration facility in Germany, and spend $400,000, right, restoring that car. The car's still only worth 50
and
grand.
then put it on Turo.
The car's still only
$10 a mile.
Right. Yeah. The car's still only worth 50 grand. Right. But if it means that much to you, you can have it done. Right. You can keep that dream going. You can keep it alive.
A Porsche Classic 3 SC is worth way more than 50 grand. By the time you're done with it through them.
Okay. 70.
I think that's a $200,000 car.
I don't know. But anyway, yes, I agree. It's worth more than $50,000 or $70,000. But it's the point is it's not worth $300,000.
No. Yeah. You're not doing it for the money.
But if you can, and if you love it that much to keep it going, spend the money. What's it matter?
Maybe someone else will invent a really awesome cartoon that features the SC, and then you can sell it to them for $80 million and make all your money back, and then it's their problem. Isn't this awesome? Look what I did. Look, that's Cartman. There you go.
Right. Yeah. But you guys had a great time. I had a great time.
I thought it was
loved
great.
It.
I was wrecked. Like,
so, okay. One of the things about Casa Bonita that's cool is that you can just tell the kids, go explore, right? Leave the table.
Yeah.
Go go explore.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
There's security. Kids aren't walking out the front door alone. Or,
yeah. We will meet up with you. We'll find you. You know where we are. That kind of stuff. Well, anyway, so John was convinced to take his daughter to go get their faces painted, and John got his face.
Oh yeah.
painted.
Do you have that picture?
Yes.
Text it to me.
And but on his way out, John took the remainder part of his margarita and poured it in his wife's glass that was, kind of half full. She took one sip of that margarita and decided it was pure tequila. So anyway, so there may be something to that.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah. Of all things, Isla's not in this picture, but you'll be able to see your painted face.
But no, dude, I was wrecked. That place.
So, and then also for, so many years, kind of just a standing joke
there.
was about how horrible the food was at Casa Bonita, right? And that is not the case. Not at all. They hired this amazing woman as an executive chef. But what I really love is that it still plays to how, originally you went through like a cafeteria line, right? Ordered your food, and then you went down this cafeteria line thing, and it came like shooting out from this wall.
Yeah.
The food did, and a person put it on your tray. Anyway, you took that and you went and got sat. Well, now you go in and you get seated, and there's an actual menu that you look at, and then it comes out to you. But it doesn't come out in the traditional form, as in it takes a little while, because they're prepping everything. No, it flies from the kitchen, right? Yeah, to the table. It came out so incredibly fast.
That was impressive.
And that's something that I think that's one of the traditions of Casa Bonita. They wanted to keep that alive. And so they figure out how to get that done.
Yeah.
And they did I think a pretty great job of it, but it's
you
good
had
food.
the green chili brisket tacos?
Yes. But what my favorite part
minus the
about
tacos.
Yeah, right.
Minus the
So like,
tortilla.
I got to get back on my, carb or my no carb thing here pretty heavy. And so I thought, well, I'll just eat it out of the shell, or whatever. No, it came out, it's deconstructed, right? There's a big giant piece of brisket with green chili on it. Yeah. And then the tortillas come out like cigar rolls,
How great is that? You don't have to.
It was perfect.
Well, and as a kitchen, you don't have to make tacos.
Right.
You just
exactly.
put a brick on a plate.
Yeah.
So,
when you saw it, it was kind of like, this makes sense. It's compartmentalized or whatever. It's quick and easy to serve up. It was hot. It was good. The chips. The chips were unbelievable.
Think like Doritos nacho in terms of the way it was coated with salt and spice.
Oh, yeah.
But it was not Dorito nachos. It was just like awesome Mexican flavor.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? Fresh made,
some lime,
fresh tortilla with salt and chili powder. And,
and they're thick. They're not, they had the right consistency.
They stood up to queso.
Yep.
I
would definitely just go there and eat a bag of chips.
They need to open the bar. There needs to be a bar where you can go and sit down at the bar and just order chips and salsa.
Totally. Yeah, even the salsas were awesome.
Salsa was sick.
They do have some small bars in there, I noticed.
I don't think there was I never saw seating at the bar.
Yeah, I don't think you could, it was belly up to the bar.
I think it was just
But as you're walking around, you could stop and grab a drink.
Yeah, maybe.
How much was a margarita?
So
we had premium seating.
$13.
Okay. That's fair.
For Lauren's.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys had you had good margaritas.
Yeah, but mine was a double. So mine was 26, I think. I don't know. You paid the fucking bill, idiot.
I got the invite.
Also,
it was worth it.
No, but you're not supposed to do that.
So
but thank you.
Premium
Thank you for that.
seating.
Yeah.
meant that we were by the pool, if you will, right? So we could see the cliff divers and all the show and all that stuff. And it's $45 a plate.
Yep.
And then free sodas and tea or whatever. That's part of it.
Yeah, the plate,
And sopapillas are
drinks,
part of it.
sopapillas, and chips and salsa.
Yeah, and then so the alcohol.
Yep.
You pay per upcharge for that.
Yep.
Did you notice the wristbands? So you get carded on the way in if you're going to order an alcoholic beverage. And then they put these wristbands on. And I thought to myself later on, like, that's kind of cheesy, right? I mean, these could just float around. It'd be easy, for some underage kid.
I couldn't get it off.
No, I couldn't get it off either.
That was on better than the wristbands at the Quail. Right. Like, I was able to sneak that off.
It was wild.
But that was jamming.
No, it took scissors. I finally just, Anyway. I think they did a fantastic job. I would highly encourage, just check to see if there's a time that you could
Did
get
it
in the
wreck
place.
your guts? It wrecked my guts.
I wouldn't say that it wrecked my guts, but I could feel it. Like it was just heavy. I just had like a brick.
No, my problem was the next day.
I just had a brick in my stomach.
No, I got wrecked. Lewis and Lauren did too. We it wasn't like I had something bad, but it just got me.
Yeah.
Just kicked me in the jimmy. But yeah, when the trick is they send out emails about when you can register to make your reservation. And if you create your account and you log in early and you wait for it, and then they reassign all of the people that are waiting for the reservation slots a number, and then you wait.
Oh, sure.
So, and if you log in after that, you're after the full queue.
Okay.
So if they say reservations start at 9, make sure you're logged in by 8:50.
Yeah, right.
Then you're in the first queue, and then you can make it happen.
Right.
If you log in late, you're probably screwed.
Can you put your picture up? It'd be awesome to see if we can get it on here. I don't want to show your list of text messages. Oh, there we go. All right, that's perfect. Let me move us out of the way. There we go. All right, here we go.
Look at that floofy hair.
Look at that.
What a handsome guy.
That's awesome. Look at that face painting.
Yeah.
That is a dad.
Yeah. Well, what I asked her to do was paint something on me that was inappropriate for children. And she goes, huh. Okay. And
I got you.
I was thinking she was going to draw cock and balls on my forehead, because that's kind of what I was hoping for. Initially, I was going to ask her to draw just some
on your chin.
On my chin, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it out loud, but if you're watching, you understand. But that's not what she did. She drew a great white shark. I think that's what it was, right?
It's
it was a shark.
I think it's a rainbow.
No, it's a shark.
Oh, is it a shark? Is it the mouth open?
Yeah, the mouth open. It's coming out of the water. That's its eyeball.
I thought it was like some kind of an Indian rainbow.
Okay. Well, there's my belly. Yeah.
And then they also had the little small area where there's caricatures being drawn.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's been there forever. The wishing well with the same little creepy screen out of the bottom's been there forever. They had the gift shop that's down the stairs, which is awesome.
The puppet show.
The puppet show was super cool. It was funny.
Yeah. We weren't allowed to take video of it. But I'm going to spoiler alert this a little bit. So a taco puppet comes out. Hey, guys. Thanks for being here. You guys like tacos? Yay. You can do better than that. You guys like tacos? Yay. You know who doesn't like tacos? My ex-wife. This is like a little kid's puppet show, buddy. And that kind of set the stage for the whole thing. And Isla loved it so much, she saw it twice.
That's awesome.
So I don't know.
Yep.
It was pretty good.
And the characters are all food.
Well,
it's pretty awesome.
What's fun is it's the South Park guys reimagining this restaurant as an adult-friendly little kid place. That joke, maybe not in the greatest taste, but I've said worse things on this show.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh yeah.
so it's pretty good.
Just earlier tonight. Yeah.
Really? Short memory. I don't know what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I encourage people to go. It's definitely worth checking out.
Totally agree. And actually, the little brewery right next door, that was awesome too.
Yeah.
That was a cool spot.
It's definitely going to help change that part of town.
I hope
Right.
so.
And I think that was a big fear for some of the locals over there is if Casa Bonita did go away completely forever.
Yeah.
That was like the only thing, right, that was kind of holding anything there, like holding any kind of glue. It was a big giant department store, like you said. It was a big Jocelyn's, I think, department store. Yeah. So when that was closing, people were like, "Oh my!" And this is back in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh my gosh, what's going to happen when that closes?" And then and this guy came in and said, "Well, let's keep something here, right?" And that's kind of how it all got started. But if it closed down, it's not gonna lie, it's already kind of a little sketchy part of town anyway.
Yeah, no,
but,
totally sketchy. We
but
went into the Dollar Tree next door.
good for you.
Woo! That was a Dollar Tree. I mean, that was
But anyway, no, having that there, having the security element with it, and just the hype, the buzz, seeing a full parking lot. I had to park far away, from the door.
Yeah.
That's just going to create a positive thing in that neighborhood, which is what it needs.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's probably enough about Casa Bonita on our car show.
I think that was the best content we've had, in, other than Ted's episodes, quite a long time.
Ted's episodes are pretty good, man.
I thought they were. Yeah, that was solid information. Although I got to say that Albert Blue GT3 touring that just sold. I'm pretty sure Albert Blue was available on the 991 Speedsters at least, if not before. He had mentioned that color had just made a comeback. I think that might have been a little.
Well, I mean, it's not wrong. Like, more people are aware of it now.
Oh. Okay.
It's not a new color. He didn't say it's a new color.
I thought the way I took it was it had made a comeback onto the PTS list.
Oh,
that's
I think
my
it's
fault. Okay.
Oh, I think it's just more people are now.
People
aware
are liking Albert Blue. Okay, I'll take that. All right,
because you had a Albert Blue Speedster.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
2019.
Yeah, with the bone speaker grills.
Yeah, that's right. Ash, they're ash.
Ash, yes. CXXX. That's extra special. That's a story for
I like
another
mine
day.
raw.
Yeah.
Have we really talked about our special project, our First Dibs special project?
No, I feel like we should keep it under wraps for a little longer.
For just a little bit.
Ted mentioned that he was going to try to let us do it. And we haven't mentioned that we were going to build a paint to sample CXX custom Spider RS. With the First Dibs logo embossed in the headrests. Yeah. That nobody knows about that yet.
So we're going to have a conference call come up.
About what?
Well, it's with Amy from the CXX stuff at Porsche that does our stuff.
Yeah.
Because, Ted's got some ideas. And
wait, what?
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, it's just to discuss it. Part of its time frame, what we can, what we're going to be able to do, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So, no, that should be pretty interesting. I think maybe, we should get a little bit further. But part of the reason of doing this on the podcast is to show people the kind of the whole story of it, right? Like how the process works.
Yeah. So we should do the calls on this equipment.
Oh, that's good.
And not do it live, but just at least capture it so we have it and we can.
That's a great idea.
Put words in people's mouths.
No
problem. You wanted an RS manual? Yeah, I can't believe nobody optioned that. It was right there on the configurator. Yeah, we got that. Yeah. You're really going to be the only one. The only person that wanted a Spider RS manual. Good job.
Right.
All right.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's how I envision it going.
Yeah.
And if we do, you know how I'm going to do it? Python green with plaid seats. And I'm just going to tell McInnes I'll trade him straight across. Just be like, yeah, you deserve this.
I'm going to take your 100,000 mile.
Yeah. Exactly. And we'll just give you this one.
Right.
Good job. Go put some more miles on. go ambassadorize the heck out of us.
Ambassador.
Isn't that what they call it?
Sure. Yeah. Speaking of our friends, Shift magazine. So I got to do a photo shoot.
Oh yeah, I skipped last Saturday.
I did.
Good job.
I got to do a photo shoot with them with the Macan E.
Yep.
So that was right after our party, our launch party, and yeah. Anyway, Brendan from Shift was kind enough to come down.
Well,
to be part of that.
I think
event.
technically he needed a ride home after he shut down the party.
So Randy gave him a ride home.
I don't know.
But yeah, Brendan was kind enough to come down, do some shots of the event, and then I was lucky enough to be able to join them on a kind of a roller shoot on the Saturday following that. And they had 3 electric cars that they were all comparing. And it sounds like a pretty interesting story. I mean, Brendan will definitely be able to describe more. Hopefully he comes back to the show when I think it's issue 10 is what's coming out.
That feels about right.
And anyway, he'll be able to describe more. I thought the topic of the article was interesting. The only part that I'll lead into is it's not about electric car ownership. At least that's not what I read into it. It's car people, car enthusiasts, especially gasoline engine, enthusiasts.
Trying to save some of their credibility.
No, it's what's the draw? What is attracting the internal combustion engine gearhead to an electric car? So there was myself, there was Brendan, and there was Ryan. And so there's 3 so Ryan has his car, Brendan has his car, and I'm with the Macan.
Yep.
But we're all petrol heads. We're all petrol gearheads. But at the same time, we're finding the electric cars to be pretty sweet. They have a a very fun place. So I mean, Brendan's an awesome writer anyway. So it's going to be a pretty fascinating article. And it sounds like we're going to have one hellacious spread in the magazine anyway.
Yeah, I think we're pretty important.
As a whole. The dealership as a whole is making giant footprints all over. And then I know we've talked about the 356 registry West Coast holiday happening. Well, it is official. They signed their contract with Cheyenne Mountain Resort the other day.
Do you have your watch?
Not the 356 watch. I received it.
I know. You should bring that in.
But so that is happening. That's definitely happening. That's to me, it's massive. Like, that's such a crazy ordeal that's happening here.
Yeah.
I can't imagine
they're going to bring the median age of people in Colorado Springs up by about a decade.
So, but it's 356s only.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I mean, it's like 200 plus registrants for this thing. So 200 plus 356 cars.
Yeah.
At Cheyenne Mountain Resort, and just kind of strolling around Colorado Springs area and doing a Concours event on the last day of it.
You know that couple that's going to buy the 2010 GTS where the dude's like a metal worker?
Yeah.
He is looking for a pre-A 356.
Wow.
I said, well, you're about 11 months early, but you should show up back in September.
Oh,
because I don't know that they'll be selling theirs, but they'll probably know where they are.
Yeah, they will. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I'm super excited for it. I've already been kind of talking through some ideas with a couple of the guys that are putting, kind of the main hosts, if you will.
Yeah.
For this one. And just, it's, what did he say on the phone? It was, well, hopefully the dealership gets a little bit of publicity for this. And I said, are you kidding me? Yeah, we're going to get
we're going to milk the shit out of those titties.
That whole inappropriate
udders. I don't know. What do you milk? I don't know.
So, no, it's going to be awesome. And then the guys here, Alfred is excited for it. I haven't, Jason knows about it. I've asked to where if we can get on some other people's calendars, some other people's of influence in the Porsche world, if we can get on their calendar. But anyway, if you haven't heard us talk about it yet, first week of September next year, 2025. It's September 2nd through the 7th, I think. And then it should be up on the 356 registry website as far as being able to sign up for it if you're going to register a car.
Yep.
And then we got to get Jay. Is it Jay? Is his name with the Sheffield watch guy?
Yeah.
We really got to get him on the show. So Jay, if you hear this next time you're in town with Ryan or able to meet up with Ryan, hopefully you guys have time to come down to do a little bit of recording with us because so Sheffield Watches did the 356 commemorative watch
it's
for
really
the past
good.
one. It's super cool. I'm really, really hoping that they partner up again and to do something really special for the Colorado Springs, for the West Coast Holiday 2025 here in Colorado Springs.
That wasn't specific to that. That was just a watch?
No, it was specific for the West Coast Holiday 2024.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, you're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Nice.
So so it'd be cool to see or understand if there is going to be an effort to make a 2025 watch. But then obviously tie it to Colorado Springs as well. Could you imagine on the back of the watch that this building is what's engraved in the back of the watch?
I think it should be our CGI faces. That would be way better. I bought this. I don't know why I bought this stupid thing. Look at that.
Right.
Can I see it? Oh, yeah. Who are those idiots?
Well, and I think so, and I need to reach back out if people are listening to the Maverick Porsche Club.
Yeah.
Those guys, I know, and we still have a show, by the way.
I know. We get next week off. How nice is that?
So we still have a show that we did with a couple of the guys from the Maverick Porsche Club.
Yeah.
And it's been in reserve to release it out there. I thought it was actually a pretty interesting show.
I had a lot of fun with those guys.
I did too. Well, the group that came before them, they were part of that group, but the group that came up before them, they had mentioned that they want to come back. They want to schedule a trip with more club members to come back to Colorado Springs and actually with the intention of spending, a day or a half a day at least here at the dealership, not just an impromptu, let's stop by the local store.
Yeah.
They were so blown away. So I think 2025 is going to be a pretty big year when it comes to, getting a lot of
We should
publicity for the
hire
store.
a PR firm.
Might
Is
need
that
it.
what they do?
Well, we know a guy, but can one guy handle it all?
Yeah. That guy can.
He can, yeah.
He can. Yeah. With a little help.
Does he want to?
Yeah, exactly. It's a volunteer gig.
Pretty much, yeah. So anyway, it's going to be a really, really fun, lots of stuff going on here. People from all over the country I'm anticipating coming to the store, not just once, but many times, throughout the year. It's going to be crazy. It's almost kind of like, when do we have time to sell cars?
It doesn't take long.
No, you just sell it in between all the fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, But anyway, lots going on, lots to stay up on. Hopefully we'll get a real calendar this year to put it out there in advance. That would be awesome if we
That's a
could
good
get
idea.
some things committed. But
When should we go to Vail for Cocoa? I feel like that should be a Valentine's Day thing.
February?
Yeah.
Maybe. I need to. We want to plan our next Porsche Classic swap meet, which will be indoor.
February 14th is a Friday.
Oh,
Why don't we do a First Dibs from Vail drinking cocoa on Valentine's Day? You and me, baby.
it's cold outside.
Leave the chicks at home. Finally have a man's night.
Man's night, sitting in the hot tub next to a fire.
Yeah, having some Cavassier and hot cocoa. And I am talking about the chocolate beverage. Nothing else. We could bring Lewis. That'd make it less weird.
Yeah, that'd make it less weird.
Live from the hot tub at the Vail Four Seasons.
Right.
John, Lewis, and Justin filling this back to Porsche, Colorado Springs.
I like the idea.
We got time to plan that.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, for sure. Gosh, lots of stuff. I'm open to suggestions from anybody out there that's listening as well.
Other than me.
Who else? Oh, Jason. Jason says hello.
Yep.
Hey, Jason.
He sent us the Jaguar thing, the Jaguar rebranding. which to me felt like a company that doesn't know what they're doing.
Okay.
Like,
You mean the thing we were watching tonight?
yeah,
Oh.
like be a person that people don't know about. Okay.
The exact opposite of being an influencer.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do what other people are doing. Just do this. Oh,
Drive a jet.
all right. Yeah. No one else wants it. You better have it. And I don't have a problem with that advertising mentality. But what I don't know is what are they selling now that I want?
I don't even know what they're selling, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I think like if you just dropped a bomb ass product that no one was buying because people didn't know about it,
Yeah.
then you shake shit up and say, here it is. So maybe I think Dan and Ryan are out at the LA Auto Show. Maybe Jag has some serious shit they're dropping.
Could be.
In which case, props to you.
Yeah.
Let's bring some attention to it.
Right.
But if all you're doing is selling old tired products and you're trying to make them flashy by having like a floofy,
Yeah.
well done commercial, I don't know why you spent the money on that.
Yeah. No.
Like I feel like if you have a great product, that's when you need to drop it. And I think Jags are cool. There's the new Magnus Walker and the Kaiser just partnered with, what is it, Tom Wilkinson Racing and released a new Jaguar XJS. That's the one, right? The V12 double round headlight on each side. Shitty car from the 70s and 80s that ran forever and made 130 horsepower on 5.3 liters.
Right.
With a 3-speed GM automatic.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting car. But they're beautiful, and they've brought it back, and they're doing kind of a Singer-esque thing on it. That's cool.
Yeah.
E-types, D-types, C-types.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet cars.
Yeah.
XKR.
Oh, yeah.
XJR. Like the XJR, aluminum bodied, big 4-seat luxury sedan with 400 supercharged horsepower back in 96.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Way cool stuff.
Yeah.
But the XF was awesome. XFR.
Yeah.
Sick. 5-liter.
It's a great car.
I think it was 500 horsepower.
Yeah.
Those were awesome. Vents that like you turned the car on and they went and then they probably broke a little bit and then they came out the rest of the way.
Yeah. The F-Type.
F-Type. Yeah.
Super fun, super loud
Great.
car.
I don't know what they make right now.
So can you read the comments here?
I-Pace.
Well, the I-Pace, yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say? My name is Leon Phelps. I'm the ladies man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's them.
That was the Cavassier.
Yeah, some Cavassier.
He's catching everything I'm throwing down here.
I got some pina colada butt lotion. Yeah, that's disgusting.
I am super excited for Valentine's Day.
That's a nice car. You better be a businessman to drive a car like that.
Yeah.
Nice suit, John.
Thanks. Let's bring up their I'm going to bring up their website.
I like it. I mean, a joke, says, well, in 2025, they aren't selling anything. But their concept car is supposed to be dropping in December in Miami.
So you're early. You dropped your shit too soon.
But so
maybe you're wrong.
I was going to tag along as far as the dropping some cool stuff, like Porsche.
I hope that's not their concept car.
So Porsche,
it's like an air conditioning, a furnace filter. You've got an EV furnace filter hanging out the back of your.
Maybe that's the front of the car.
No.
But when the Cayman came out, when Porsche was introducing the Cayman, so 2006 was the first model year, so they were, releasing stuff in 2005. Their big thing right then was being a disruptor. Right, that's kind of when that whole thing started with Porsche. Like we caused disruption, and I was trying to relate that to I guess Porsche. Everybody already knew that Porsche was making sports cars and 911s, but on the Jag side of it, it's I mean, people don't know what they're making, so it's not even a disruption. It's just
F
like
pace,
what is that?
E pace, I pace, F type, XF. So they're still making an XF.
And they still make the F-Type?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, anyway.
Starting at just under 80.
Now, the early 2000s XJs, like a Super V8. Oh, my gosh. I would love to have something like that.
Those are cool.
I like those cars. I like them.
Probably 15 grand. I bet you could have one.
Yeah. No,
for a nice one.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I used to work on them, right? They cross-trained a couple of us on Jags when we started at the Porsche store, and they'd go through water pumps like you wouldn't believe. And they went through water pumps so fast that there was a couple of us, we would change out water pumps while people waited.
That's pretty good.
It is. Didn't even have to rack the car. Like, we would just do it right in the middle of the shop. Anyway, but I'd still drive one. Yeah, they're super fun. And yeah, the supercharger noise, the 400 horsepower. Yeah. I mean, you can't take off from a stop without chirping the wheels.
I really like early F-Types too.
They're awesome.
They're like a slightly bigger Miata is how they feel to me. You know, like it's still a tight cabin. It's still very sculpted or tailored, I guess, is the feel. You sit way back over the rear axle. There's a lot of hood forward.
Yep.
That's the feel I get.
No, they're a great car. So, you know, the Jaguar, right? The actual Jaguar, it's called the Leaper.
Yep.
That's the hood ornament right out on the front. And I love that the F-Type, they took a lot of styling, right? Being a Jaguar into that. If you look at the side profile of the Jag, it is a Leaper. If you look at the side profile of the F-Type, the eyes, right? The headlights are the eyes. Its mouth is open with the grill. Once you see that in the profile, you're like, oh my God, that's so cool, right? And then you can't unsee it type thing, and it makes perfect sense. So now the Tata, motor company, whatever, they put a ton of time and money, into trying to save this brand. And anyway, so I think they've definitely come out with some cool stuff.
Yeah, I think the world is better with companies like that out there. So I hope this rebrand works.
Me too.
I hope it catches some stuff because competition makes everything better.
That's right.
We were talking, I have a client with an Aston Martin, a super special, ultra limited Aston Martin that is worth half-ish of what its original MSRP was. And it's so weird that if it was a Porsche with the same limited production and the same stats, it'd be worth double its original MSRP.
Could be.
Ish. I mean, you're talking 911R production numbers.
Right.
So, or actually closer to 997 Sport Classic. Euro only production numbers. And we're trying to figure out why.
I told you my thoughts.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting is that the dealer network and the support is lacking. And there's got to be kind of a level that you hit where you can get your cars worked on. When you go through Excite training with Porsche, one of the things they talk about was there's a guy that had a Bentley and he loved it, but he didn't think it was safe. And so you start talking about how Porsches have airbags and ABS brakes and all these safety features that are great and how it's the safest car on the road. And you're not talking about what he's talking about. What you're supposed to do is say, what do you mean by safety?
Right.
Well, I was in the middle of Montana and I got a flat tire and they had to tow it back to Chicago.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm not speaking the language you are, but if this awesome 700 horsepower rear wheel drive awesome sports car that you've got, you have to fly it to Philadelphia for service, and it's not that bad with Aston, but I think that's a really good point that, there's this level of service where there's enough Porsche dealerships out there that we can get you taken care of.
Right.
And it's not this super little niche thing that only exists in the big cities
Right.
to be able to take care of you. So I thought that was an interesting thought as to why maybe they get devalued a little bit.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So same thing with McLarens.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
just a little more limited.
and they've, both of those car companies have a big hurdle that they got to get over. Big
Because they're from Britain?
because they're British.
Yeah.
And what is the common, what's the common mistake people think about British cars?
Their Lucas wiring is going to burn?
Reliability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, let's face it. Yeah, they're not. They were not reliable cars, right? I mean, it almost like jokingly bad. Yes. The reliability issues, being British and having multiple British manufacturers.
Land Rover, I think, is doing much, much better.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
As long as you have it under warranty.
They've done, yeah.
And you don't have air suspension.
Yeah. So, but there you go. I mean, that's where take a 911 or whatever, from Porsche. And I talk about this with the classic cars all the time. These cars have proven the test of time. More than 70% of all Porsche cars ever made are still on the road today. That's just proving these don't have reliability issues. Land Rover cannot say that. Jaguar cannot say that.
Yeah.
When I was working with the dual brand store, there was a sales guy, Carl. And this is when I was a mechanic, and I was learning about Jag, and he says in 1988, Jaguar sold 8,000 cars. Okay. In 1989, Jaguar lost 8,000 customers.
That's pretty good.
And then, so the jokes were, you had to have two Jags, one to drive while the other one's in the shop, right? That's where, but anyway, that's these huge obstacles, these huge hurdles that these companies have to overcome. And some of them still make stupid mistakes. I mean, McLaren putting cars out in dealerships before they're even finished with production. It's like, oh yeah, you ordered $18,000 of carbon fiber trim. We didn't have time to put it on before it got shipped out. So we're going to send it to the dealer so they can put it on sometime later, right? Why don't you finish the goddamn car and then put it on a boat, right, to come over?
Yeah.
Here's an idea. It's just stupid stuff like that. It's just like, why are you forcing this? Why are you rushing it through? It's quality control.
Yeah.
All Porsches go through checkpoint 8. And if they don't pass checkpoint 8, you know what they do with the car?
Give it to us.
They probably crush it, or at least they send it back to study what happened, what went wrong. They don't like, oh crap, ship it, ship it anyway.
Yeah.
It runs and drives. It's as complete as it's ever going to be. No, they don't do that. But anyway, I don't want to go off on it.
We went pretty long.
We went very long.
This is the longest show of the year.
Hey, all right.
So congratulations.
You're welcome. Okay. Are we done?
I'm done. Are you done?
Yeah. We'll go home.
Okay.
Lock up, go home so I can come back tomorrow.
Good plan.
All right. Well, for the first dibs.
Are you going to be here tomorrow? Or should we go do a photo shoot?
Yeah. I have proof that I would a photo shoot because it's going to be published.
Yeah, but I didn't see you in any of the pictures. That's all I'm saying.
No, because I was in an interview.
There you go. Right.
For the First Dibs podcast from inside Porsche, Colorado Springs, I'm Justin.
I'm John.
Have a great weekend and a fun, safe Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and